Hello everyone, my name is Cheng Zhiquan. Today I would like to talk about why audience awareness makes a speech successful. Have you ever been in a classroom or conference and felt completely lost because the speaker used words or example you could not relate to? Or maybe you heard someone speak and thought, wow, this person really understands us. That difference comes down to one key skill: audience awareness. Audience awareness means understanding who your listeners are, their age, culture, education level, interests, and even their mood. This is not about changing who you are as a speaker, but about meeting your audience halfway. When you understand the people in front of you, you can choose better words, examples, and stories that make your speech feel more relevant. According to Keith and Lundberg, every public speaker has a responsibility to think about the audience, not only about the message. This responsibility means being respectful, clear, and connected. Audience awareness helps us move from simply talking at the people to truly communicate with them. The first reason audience awareness makes a speech successful is it helps you to decide what to say. Different audience care about different things. For example, if I were talking about online privacy to university students, I would focus on social media and apps. But if my audience were business professionals, I would discuss data protection in companies. The topic might be the same, but the focus changes based on the audience needs and experience. Keith and Lambert remind us that good public speakers start by speaking questions. Who are my listeners? What do they already know? What do they expect to learn? A speaker who answers this question can create a message that feels useful instead of confusing. One good example is former US President Barack Obama. When he speaks to students, he uses humor, simple stories, and direct language. But when he speaks to developments, he uses formal tone and data. The message changes because the audience changes. Understanding this difference is what separates a good communicator from an average one. The second reason is language and tone. Words are powerful, but only when they are understood. Using complete terms might sound smart, but can push the audience away. In contrast, use simple, familiar language builds trust and makes the audience feel respected. Imagine giving a speech to an international audience. If you speak too fast or use many items, they may not follow you. But if you use clear, inclusive language, they will listen more closely. Lucas explains that an effective speaker always adjusts tone and words choose to fit the audience background. Tone also shapes how people feel about your message. Speaking too formally to your classmate might sound distant. Being too casual in a business meeting might seem unprofessional. Updating your tone shows that you care about how your words and how your words are received. In addition, nonverbal communication, eye contact, gesture, and posture also depends on audience awareness. In some cultures, direct eye contact shows confidence. In others, it can seem disrespectful. Knowing this small about important detail helps the speaker avoid misunderstanding and maintain positive connection. Facts inform, but emotions move people. Audience awareness always allows you to build a connection that makes people care about what you are saying. When listeners feel seen and understood, they are more open to your ideas. To build that connection, good speakers often use shared experience. For example, a student giving a speech on stress management might begin with, "We all know that feeling when assignments spill up and sleep disappears." Instantly, the audience relates. This kind of empathy creates a bridge between the speakers and the listeners. Another way to connect emotionally is through storytelling. Stories make information stories make information easier to remember and give the audience something human to relate to. According to Gallo, storytelling is what makes famous EDT speakers so powerful. They don't just give data, they share human experience. Finally, being awareness of the audience also means being flexible. Sometimes you can feel that your audience is bored or confused. A good speaker notices this and change pace, asks a question, or tells a short example. That awareness can turn an average presentation into a memorable one. When a speaker shows that they understand the audience words, the audience sees them as truthworthy and repaired. Credibility or thoughts grows when the audience feels respected and understood. Nobody likes to a speaker who ignores their needs or talks down to them. For instance, if a health professional gives a talk to rural communities using medical jargon, people may turn out. But if the speaker uses simple explanations and local examples, the same message suddenly becomes meaningful. This shows not only a wealth about also humanity, a quality that it was trust. In public speaking, respect and credibility go hand in hand. Keith and Langberg emphasize that ethical communication includes adapting to audience while staying truthful and authentic. Awareness does not mean pretending to be someone else. It means communicating with empathy and intention. In the end, every great speech is built on an idea. Communication is not about speakers, it's about the listeners. Audience awareness transforms information into understanding and words into connection. A speech that ignores the audience might still deliver information, but it will not inspire or stay in memory. However, when speakers took time to understand their listeners, their hopes, struggles, and perspectives, they create speech that truly matter. As public speaker, we can have a choice. We can speak to full time, or we can speak to make meaning. The difference lies in whether we are aware of the people in front of us. Knowing your audience does not just make your speech successful, it makes your words human.